A little birdie told me you feel like a big fat failure. I'm here to tell you failure is the best thing that can happen to you. It's actually non negotiable for getting exactly what you want. And I actually think it's maybe even better than succeeding. Whoa. I've decided failure is the best growth accelerator ever. No story is good of people just snap success. I like the rugged story of failure to success. Rags to riches. Feeling like a complete loser is cause for celebration. Now I know everyone's rolling their eyes, but every single TV show I've seen of a woman in her 20s or 30s who fails and then inevitably gets up and goes and becomes the best version of themselves is my proof. Ever heard of a flop era? Okay, we're getting somewhere. Today, we are neutralizing the feeling of failure. Society's told us that failing is shameful or it makes you the mayor of like loserland or something. That couldn't be more wrong. Failing makes a life that is rich with experience, wisdom, and growth. You can't get all of those things without failing a little bit. When failure beats us down, we tell ourselves no one is coming to save us and we become stuck in that shame loop. But through failing, you're actually transforming into the person who is coming to rescue you. We are going to dive in to how failure is a first class ticket to who we are meant to be, why it's important to celebrate failure, and how the version of you who succeeds actually needs you to fail. Vanessa, and this is the Mystic Within Podcast, a podcast designed for women reconnecting with their power, their purpose, and their intuition, one honest conversation at a time. I am ready to talk about failure today. We are facing our fears with failure. Failure is an essential worker. We need her to survive. I find society's relationship with failure very fascinating. We don't like to fail. We love to succeed. We judge people who fail, but we reward success, forgetting that success does not happen overnight. Failure usually happens behind the scenes, and we only get the privilege of seeing the consequence of someone failing over and over. This leads me to my first point. Failure means you're trying. Failure means you're doing something new. Failure means you're learning, and not everyone can say they're doing that. I think over the past few years, we've had a real problem with the nonchalant Olympics and a real problem with feeling embarrassed to try. It's run rampant and gone like triple platinum. It's done numbers on us. Trying something new or revealing you care about something felt embarrassing. I'm not speaking to everyone, obviously, but from what I've experienced, what I've seen, the shame has like a chokehold that's left us scared to show up and it not working out. Or we take things not working out as a sign that we shouldn't be pursuing them, when really we should be taking it as a sign to double down. Like, this is about experimentation. Is life not about experimenting? Baby, it's 2026. We are in a sun-ruled year. The sun loves to shine. We are in year of the horse, forward movement. Leo just entered Jupiter. This is your spotlight year. If you have no idea what I just said, all you need to know is that it is time to shine. This year is about you shining. It's about you being authentic, honoring that person and showing up fully as that version of yourself. I don't care what they look like, what they sound like, what they do. It's about showing up as yourself. Trying is cool. Caring is cooler. And honestly, who the hell cares what's cool or what's not? Being yourself and giving yourself a billion chances to transform and be a different person and test things out and try things out. There is something so rewarding about that. You're giving yourself the chance to grow. You're giving yourself the chance to test a bunch of stuff out and seeing what sticks, surprising yourself, creating space for you to be surprised, for the universe to flood in and show you a new talent, show you a new skill, show you something you'd be really good at or really bad at. And then you get to move on throughout the rest of your life with this knowledge, and you wouldn't have ever had that if you didn't try. The energy of this year is the fertile ground for showing up authentically. There is no better time than the present right now. Failing means you are experimenting and getting closer to where you need to be while learning along the way. Failure is a way to test our path. You get the opportunity to prove something to yourself. The universe is literally giving you the test to prove something. And it's a test you can continuously take until you understand that you can overcome failure. You can rise to the occasion and persevere through the setback. Failure is not an option when you're stepping into who you are. The only way failure is going to win is when you stop trying, when you give up. How exactly do you think your inevitable success is going to come in if you keep giving up? It is your duty to yourself to get back up on the horse. And your future self is thanking you right now for making a decision to continue on, to choose to try again. There's no giving up in your dream life. What? No. You cannot give up when you have a dream. There's only such thing as moving forward and taking the knowledge that you've gained with you. Failure being a source of knowledge. We can't focus on the failure too much, or else we get wrapped up. We find ourselves debilitated to even move forward. Failure is not designed to keep you in one location forever. It's meant to teach you, hey, this didn't work. We're going to try something new. Or you're going to take this knowledge and adjust accordingly. Or that has happened in this exact moment. So 5 years from now, when you go through that again, you're going to know exactly what to do and what not to do. There's future versions of yourself supporting you through the current failures so that they can succeed, so that you can succeed. Point 2, the sooner we neutralize the fear of failure, the quicker you get everything you've ever wanted. As a society, I don't know what rule book we are following. We care way too much about failing. We wallow in the feeling of being like a loser when things don't go our way. It's holding way too much value and weight in this world, when really, again, we're just supposed to fail and move it along. Instead, we're not moving it along. We're just staying still and making ourselves feel bad for failing. I have made it now a mission to be failure's personal PR team. And I have to speak my truth. I have to represent my client. Failing's one thing. It's evidence that we're trying or we tried. But fear of failing is a whole nother thing. The fear of failing happens before we even give ourselves a chance to try. That means we're allowing fear, limiting beliefs to control what we do or don't do. And that's never going to fly over here. If you believe you are meant for something deep down and it's something you genuinely truly want, you're probably going to fail on your way there. But if that is your northern star, if that's your North Star, and you know that is what you're focused on in this world, failure needs to be something that you get comfortable with. You will fail time and time again, whether it's big or small. It's going to be obstacles you need to overcome. But again, do you really want that? Is that your North Star? Is that your guiding light? Then, okay, you fail. What about it? Who cares? You're the only one caring about that. I don't care if you fail. I give a shit if you get up and continue moving and you keep going towards your dreams. That's what I care about. Failure is just a part of life. We need to stop wallowing in the fact that we failed or we feel a type of way. Feelings aren't facts all the time. We can't stay in a feeling, and we certainly cannot stay in the fear of failing. That fear doesn't provide any room for us to even believe that we can succeed. Imagine instead of fearing a failure or anticipating a failure, you anticipate success. What if you do the thing? What if you take the first step and you succeed? What if you come out the other side a winner? What if you get everything you've ever wanted because you gave yourself a chance? Neutralizing fear gives room for us to grow. Instead of allowing this fear of failure to control us, we need to stop being scared of it. And my tried and true way of doing that is to challenge it. Is failure so bad? Again, as I said, who cares? But is failure so, does it mean everything you do is a failure? If you failed once, am I a loser for life because one thing redirected me? That sounds literally insane. We're trying to make failure the main character when really it's supposed to be like some wise old wizard on our the yellow brick road or under the bridge, whatever. Failure is the gatekeeper of knowledge. I need you to think of literally any hero story ever. Hero story, the chosen one, you're understanding the vibes. Do you think after one challenge, the hero threw her hands up and was like, my God, I can't do it. It's too hard. I failed. I'm a loser. Do you think they gave up after the first little bump in the road? My God, that's the worst movie I've ever heard of. I'm closing the book and throwing it in a fire. If she did give up in these movies or whatever you're thinking of, then 2 scenes later, she's getting a motivational pep talk. She's doing a training montage. She levels up. She gets way better than she was before. And then she goes and slays the dragon or saves the town or wins the war, whatever the hell she's doing. Kudos to her. She is better at being a hero because she failed. She would have never been that person unless she failed or she lost all of her power or whatever it is. Failure adds richness to the story. It adds turmoil and tension and something to be excited about. It adds richness to your story. Failure is something that shapes the version of yourself into the one who gets everything they've ever wanted. The sooner we can look at the moments we failed as experiences that actually propel us forward, the sooner we can step into the life we're actually meant to live. Okay, number 3. The version of you who succeeds is actually the exact same person who never chose to give up. Feeling like a loser is a rite of passage for anyone who's ever accomplished anything. I don't know one story where someone's like, yep, tried once and everything worked out. Again, the worst story ever. The only difference between someone who's succeeded or not is that they didn't look at failure as a dead end. They saw it as a detour and chose to try again. Failure became a moment to pivot for them, to try new things out, to be excited that there's another way, or it gave them motivation to keep going. It meant they were one step closer to what they wanted. They failed forward, and we need to start failing into who we are meant to be. I want to read a quote that inspired this entire episode. Let me fall if I must fall. The one I will become will catch me. When I read that, I had chills down my spine. I find that so powerful. If you must fall, if you must fail, which we all do, the one who needs you to try again is the version of you who never gave up. I'm going to say that again. If you must fall, if you must fail, the one who needs you to try again is the version of you who never gave up, the version of you who succeeds. That person is you right now, making the conscious decision to continue on, not letting failure shake you, nor break you, nor stop you in your tracks, but redirect you to an aligned decision, an aligned path. The version of you who succeeds and fails, those aren't two separate people. The version of you who fails and tries one more time is the exact same version of you who gets every single thing they want. So if you're going through a moment of failure right now, there's 2 roads you can take. You're either going to give up and end the story there, or you're going to choose to try again. You're going to choose the route where failure does not define you, where it actually reframes your movements and reframes your next step in this life. I find one of those paths way more exciting and interesting and rich. There's one path there that is going to give you so much wisdom, shape you into a person that can relate to stories of struggle and success and getting what they want and persevering. No one likes the character in a story who just gives up and whines and victimizes themselves. But everyone loves the character who fails and goes through all this turmoil and then they continue to just fight. I fail into who you need to be. Get excited about failing. Jump for joy every time you fail. Every time you have the ability to try again. Try until you transform into the greatest version of yourself, into the most evolved version of yourself. Try and fail. Try again, fail. Celebrate your ability to pivot into a more aligned path. As long as you are breathing, you can try again. As long as there is a tomorrow for you, you can try again. That is the mercy of this universe. And I want to speak on that. Maybe I'll have another podcast episode on that. But one of the most glorious things that this world provides us is the ability to try again. No matter how bad shit gets, no matter what hole you dug yourself, no matter what is going on, there is always a chance to try again. As long as you are alive, you can try again. That is the mercy of the universe. If you've hated every day of your life, hated the person you are every single day of your life, you still have tomorrow to try again. I think that's the most spiritual understanding ever. The mercy of the universe, of God, of spirit, whoever, is pure love. There is joy in the process, and failure is part of that process. We need to neutralize that if you want to move forward through your failures. Failure is part of the process of succeeding. It's in the rule books. It's in the rule books. It's written in. When you finally win, when you're in the life that you spent days, months, years, whatever, yearning for, dreaming of, envisioning, desiring, you're going to look back at this version of you who made a conscious decision to never give up, who moved through failure with grace and understanding that it was going to get them to that point one day. You are going to have a full circle moment of gratitude, of love for your past self. You couldn't have done it without that version of yourself. You need to be knocked down to ask more of yourself, to bring something out of you that overcomes it. That's how we prove something. We need to feel like a fucking failure or loser to know that you're destined for more. If you weren't, a failure wouldn't feel wrong to you. It wouldn't feel like tension in your body. It wouldn't feel wrong to your core because you know you're meant to succeed. You know deep down that you're meant for more. You're meant for a life where you overcome the failures, where you get everything you want. Your flop era would just be your life. Your highest self is telling you to keep going. She knows it. I know it. I'm waiting for you to know it. Failure is the catalyst for your dreams, and it's worthy of being celebrated. I think the conversation around failure needs to change. If you want anything in this world, you need to embrace failing and neutralize it. It needs to matter about 0% to you to fail, and it cannot be a reflection of your personhood. It's not that deep. Failure is something we're meant to move through. It's the universe asking us, here's an opportunity to try again in a way that suits you better, suits your dreams better, aligns with you in every way. You're going to find your style during that time. You're going to find the way you want to move through this world. You're going to find your power in that. You're going to find the inner voice. You're going to connect deeper to what your soul's trying to communicate to you. Which path should we be going? You failed because that wasn't the path you're meant to be going right now. But you're going to succeed on this path because this is what's going to teach you, make you grow, enrich your life, give you more wisdom in the future, allow you to solve the problems of future you. I believe everything unfolds in the exact way it needs to. Even if it doesn't make sense to us, it's not supposed to make sense to us. The universe has a plan. God has a plan. Spirit has a plan. Your version of yourself who has everything you want. You think they don't have a plan? They have a plan. They're communicating right back to you. You're failing because you need the knowledge of this failure to get where we are right now. I believe in destiny. I believe failing is a huge part of that. Again, any good movie character fails. If you're not failing as a movie character, you're in the background. It means you're learning. It means you tried. It means you are closer than ever to winning, to getting what you want. Failing into the person you are meant to be means that you don't give up. I said this on episode 1. You don't stop until you see exactly what you want around your life. Everything you want in your life has come to fruition for you. You think that just comes into fruition without ever failing? No, you keep going. That's not always easy, but it's a conscious decision. You keep going until you are the version of yourself who has everything. I stand 10 toes down on that. I can only promise one thing, 100% guarantee that this will happen. I can guarantee that you will never know if the life you envision would ever happen or not if you give up today. 100% I can guarantee that. You'll never know if it was actually meant for you. You'll never know if you would have been a success story, if you would have got the life you dreamt of, if you were capable of rising to those occasions. Moving forward with failure under your belt, with your vision, and trying again, at least gives you the chance to find out. Guess what? Worst case, you don't make it. How are you going to know? What if you do? Whoa, what if you do? What if you take those steps and you get everything you've ever wanted? What if you start making that content and now 5 years from now, you're on brand trips and you're seeing this world from a different lens. You're financially stable. You're being creative. You're being invited to all these amazing events. What if you want to build a family? That's your dream. And you're so scared to go on the date with that one person who asked you because you're scared you're going to fail or break up. Worst case, it doesn't work out, but you'll never know. What if that's the love of your life? We don't know until we try. Trying is vital. Trying is part of life. Failing is part of life. And this is something we need to shift the conversation around in society. Failing is good. Failing is exciting. Failing shouldn't matter as much as it does. It should not hold as much value on our person. And failure is not personal. This topic rings so true for me, and I'm assuming it's maybe relating to you. I hope we can all celebrate our failures together this week. I think it's so interesting to frame it that way. And I want you to start thinking of failure differently, because to me, failure is a little exciting. Now I got to prove something. I don't know what that says about me, but now I got to show up. I got to prove that I can do this. If you have made it to the end, I am proud of you for listening. I am so excited. Episode 2, guys. Episode 2. I want to also say that I am officially taking clients for my 12-week one-on-one spirit coaching program, Returning Within. This is a sacred, connected program designed specifically for you to clear the noise of fear, dismantle all of these limiting beliefs you have about your life and what you can accomplish, and completely anchor into your true, limitless inner power and connect deeper to your intuition. I want to support people through that journey. And sometimes you need someone by your side. That is what I'm here for. To apply and book your one-on-one discovery call with me, if you want to chat about the program, see what it's about, and we can connect one-on-one, click the very first link in the show notes below. It will take you to my calendar. You can choose a time that works for you, share a little bit of your story with me. I am so excited to connect, to support you or someone you know through this part of your life right now. It's really exciting. I'm super excited to begin this part of my journey too. Thank you so much for spending the time with me and listening. Remember, I believe in your inner power and your ability to create the life that you desire. If this episode blessed you with some new knowledge, some perspective, please pass it along to someone who you love and leave a review on Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube. Until next Wednesday, I love you. Bye for now. Fail forward, people. Have a great week.